The Galactic Combat Academy's training hall fell silent as Instructor Vexthor's kick hung frozen in mid-air, caught effortlessly in the calloused hand of Cadet Jake Morrison. "Impossible," someone whispered from the observation deck. The combat scanner mounted on the wall flashed red, its holographic displays cycling through data points faster than most species could process. Then it settled on a single, damning readout: human reflexes detected, threat level, undefined. Vexthor, a 7-foot-tall Krellian warrior whose species had dominated the Galactic Combat Leagues for 3 centuries, stared at his captured leg with all 4 of his compound eyes widening in disbelief. His exoskeleton, evolved for maximum striking power, trembled slightly as he tried to pull free. The human's grip didn't budge. "Cadet Morrison," Vexthor clicked in the common tongue, his mandibles spreading in what might have been respect or fear, "release my leg." Jake let go and stepped back, his brown eyes never leaving his instructor. "You told us to react as if our lives depended on it, sir." "I reacted." The other cadets, a mix of Krellians, insectoid Chitauri, amphibious Quellan, and crystalline Voss, shifted nervously. In the 3 months since humanity had been inducted into the Galactic Council, rumors had spread about their species' peculiar traits. But seeing it in action was something else entirely. Commander Thrace, a distinguished Voss whose crystalline body refracted light in dazzling patterns, descended from the observation deck. Her footsteps made melodic chiming sounds against the metallic floor. "Instructor Vexthor, run the diagnostic again. That scanner must be malfunctioning." "With respect, Commander," Vexthor replied, his mandibles clicking in a pattern that suggested disagreement, "the scanner is functioning perfectly. I felt it myself, the speed, the precision, the raw power in his grip. The readings are accurate." Jake stood at attention, trying not to show the adrenaline still coursing through his veins. He'd moved on instinct, the same instinct that had kept his ancestors alive through millennia of predation, warfare, and survival on a death world the rest of the galaxy called Earth. When he'd seen the kick coming, his body had simply responded. Commander Thrace's crystalline form pulsed with various colors, a sign of deep contemplation in her species. "Cadet Morrison, you're aware that your performance today will be studied extensively by the Council's Xenobiology Division?" "Yes, ma'am." "Do you understand why?" Jake hesitated. He'd read the briefings, seen the shocked reactions when humans first demonstrated their capabilities. The galaxy had spent 10,000 years developing a careful hierarchy of combat prowess, technological advancement, and social standing. Humanity's arrival had disrupted everything. "Because we're different, ma'am." "Different," Thrace repeated, her voice carrying harmonic overtones. An interesting choice of words. The Krellians evolved on a high-gravity world with minimal predation. They're strong, yes, but they've never needed to be quick. The Quellan developed in deep oceans where threats move slowly. The Chitauri's hive intelligence makes them excellent strategists but poor individual reactors. She moved closer to Jake, her crystalline fingers tapping against her torso in a rhythmic pattern. "But humans? Your species evolved as both predator and prey. You developed persistence hunting, the ability to chase prey for days until it collapsed from exhaustion. You survived ice ages, plagues, megafauna that outweighed you 10 to 1. You didn't just survive, Cadet Morrison. You thrived. You conquered your entire planet not through strength or natural weapons, but through sheer, bloody-minded adaptability." The other cadets were watching now, genuinely interested. This was more than their usual xenobiology lectures. "Your reflexes," Thrace continued, "are approximately 47% faster than the galactic average. Your bone density is 30% higher. Your muscle fiber composition allows for explosive power generation that most species require cybernetic enhancement to achieve. And perhaps most remarkably, your adrenal response system can boost your performance by up to 300% in crisis situations." A Quellan cadet, her tentacles undulating nervously, raised a webbed hand. "Commander, if humans are so dangerous, why were they admitted to the Council?" It was Vexthor who answered, his mandibles clicking with what sounded like amusement. Because, Cadet Mira, a species' combat capability doesn't determine their worth. The Council learned that lesson the hard way during the Voss crystalline wars. We thought the Voss would be fragile due to their silicon-based biology. We were incorrect. Commander Thrace's colors shifted to something that might have been embarrassment. Indeed. We nearly brought the Council to its knees before they accepted us as equals. She turned back to Jake. The question isn't whether humans are dangerous, Cadet Mira. Every species is dangerous in its own way. The question is whether they choose cooperation over conquest. Humanity has shown, despite their violent history, a remarkable capacity for diplomacy and coalition building. That's why you're here. Jake felt the weight of her words. He thought about the history lessons from Earth, the wars, the genocides, the near-apocalypses. Humanity had come terrifyingly close to self-destruction multiple times. But they'd also created art, music, philosophy. They'd reached for the stars not just to conquer, but to explore. Sir, Jake said, addressing Vex Thor, I apologize if I overstepped. The Krellian instructor's mandibles spread wide in genuine amusement. Overstepped? Cadet, you just accomplished something no student has done in my 70 years of teaching, you caught me off guard. That's not an overstep. That's excellence. He turned to address the entire class. Let this be a lesson to all of you. Never underestimate any species based on their appearance or origin. The humans call it judging a book by its cover. I call it tactical stupidity. Morrison didn't catch my kick because he's human. He caught it because he was alert, trained, and ready. Those are qualities any warrior can develop, regardless of species. The combat scanner, still displaying its warning about human reflexes, suddenly seemed less ominous and more like a simple statement of fact. Jake was fast. But so could the others be, with proper training. Commander Thrace's crystalline body resonated with a sound like wind chimes, Voss laughter. Well then, Instructor. I believe we have our work cut out for us. If one human can perform at this level, imagine what this entire class could accomplish if trained to their full potential. Vex Thor's mandibles clicked in agreement. Indeed, Commander. Class, pair off. Today, you all learn to move like your life depends on it. Because someday, it might. As the cadets dispersed to their training stations, Jake caught sight of the combat scanner one more time. The warning had changed. Now it simply read, Optimal combat readiness detected, all species. He smiled. Maybe that's what the galaxy needed to see, that humanity's greatest strength wasn't their reflexes or their resilience. It was their ability to inspire others to reach higher, to push beyond perceived limitations, to prove that any species could be extraordinary if given the chance. The future, Jake thought as he prepared for the next drill, was going to be very interesting indeed.